I watched a YouTuber today. It got me thinking. So that's what got me into wanting to do this video today. Is the game keycard situation for Nintendo Switch 2. Is it really that bad? Or is it just flat out terrible? Let's get into it. And don't get me wrong now. I don't like the keycard situation. I really don't. I would rather them be a proper physical game. But from what I can find out from that YouTuber that I watched today and my own research as well too, you always got to do your own research. It sounds like it's not going to be as bad as we thought. But still. Clan, if you enjoy my content, please hit the subscribe button, like button, also share with friends if you don't mind. Also, please comment, ask me a question, or comment in general. I'll do my best to answer them. Also, if you don't mind, hit the notification bell down below, and you will be notified when I go live or upload another video. If you want to become a fan of me, Auckland, then subscribe to the channel, and you will become a fan. Hope so. Now, in the video that I watched today from that YouTuber, he talked about how Nintendo has always allowed people to re-download games even after the eShop is done and the console is pretty much dead. You could still re-download the games no matter what. Doesn't matter how many years that pass, you could still re-download the games. I don't like digital games. I prefer my games physically, but this is a weird situation right here. Alright, so as it talks about in this article, this is directly from Nintendo themselves. For the foreseeable future, it will still be possible to re-download games and DLC and receive software updates on the Wii U consoles and 3DS systems. However, it won't be possible to re-download demos. Well, that makes sense about that. But the digital games, you could still re-download them and all that stuff on your Wii U and 3DS and all that stuff. And the YouTuber in the video showed off that he was able to re-download a Wii game. And it was still possible to re-download that Wii game even after all these years. And the Wii eShop has been down for quite some time. Now, I can't really find an article on this, but I've seen tons of YouTubers talk about it. The license of the game itself for the keycards for Nintendo Switch 2. The game itself is not attached to your account. It's attached to the keycard. So that allows you to be able to trade in the keycards and get credit for them. So even though it's a fake physical game, it still has value. Yeah, I know it. It still has value. So, very interesting stuff. I don't like it, but if this is what we got, I guess it's not too bad, I guess. But I still prefer a proper physical release, because some of these games for these companies is lazy. Because, yeah, the keycard situation is something else. So it is a physical cartridge, but you have to put it into your Nintendo Switch 2, and you have to download the entire game with these keycards. After it's downloaded, you can play the game by inserting the game keycard into your system and starting it up like a standard physical game card. And so if you don't know what the game keycard is, this is what it looks like. This is what you can look out for on the physical case itself. You look for this key on the case, and it'll probably say game keycard right beside it. And right here it says to download the game, an internet connection, free space in your Nintendo Switch 2 system, or micro SD express card are required. My allergies are messing up today. Insert the game key card into your system, and then you can download the game. Now, here's the thing. You have to have internet in order to download the game. Yes. But after that, you don't need it anymore. An internet connection is only required when you launch the game for the first time. After this, the game can be started even without an internet connection. However, like regular physical software, the game keycard must be inserted into the system in order to play the game. So you only need the internet in order to download the game itself onto the game keycard. So yeah, that's the one downside to this. It really sucks. But the positive note when it comes to modern gaming now, internet is everywhere. So as you just saw hopefully in this video, you only need internet in order to download the game. After that, you can cut it off, and then you can reinsert the game keycard for that game for Switch 2 and start playing the game. Plus, you can, as I talked about before, you could trade in these game keycards into GameStop, sell them on eBay, whatever you want to do, and you can get value out of these game keycards like it's a proper physical release, even though it's not. But, so yeah, these game key cards are fake physicals, but they still have value and all that stuff. So, yeah. So that's a positive note about this. But do I wish that all of these games were proper physical releases? Of course I do. Of course I do. But the times are changing, sadly. But this is a positive out of here. It really is. So I'm going to take whatever positivity that I can find out of any situation. I'm going to try my best. Even though sometimes it can be hard. Now, it's probably going to be hard to see, but this is Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S, which stands for Switch 2, if I can get my words out, sorry. But this is a 4 GB game download. Now, if I can find the article, I will find it. They've already came out and confirmed that there's only one storage of cartridge being used for Nintendo Switch 2. It's the 64 GB. But the 64 GB cartridge, it costs about $15, $16 for the company to purchase it in order to put the game on there. Now, in my opinion, this right here was just pure laziness of Sega. They could have easily put this on a proper physical version, but I guess they didn't want to pay that $15, $16 to do a proper physical, so they did the game keycard for this. Same for Sonic X Shadow Generations. This is a 24 GB download for the game. It could have been easily put onto a 64 GB cartridge and had it been a proper physical release, but Sega was lazy and didn't do it. And thanks to that YouTuber that I watched today, Madden 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, the game itself is 62 gigabytes to download, so they could have easily put this on a 64 gigabyte cartridge easily, but they did a keycard for Madden as well. And Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is kind of blurry to see it, but it looks like it's either 43 or a 47 gigabyte download, so this could have easily been a proper physical release. Also, lazy from Sega. Now, I can't find an English version as of right now, but this is the article that I was trying to find up. So, either the games are going to be digital only on Nintendo Switch 2, or it's going to be a 64 gigabyte cartridge, or a potion, which is a code name for a keycard. But overall, I would prefer a proper physical version instead of a game keycard. But it seems like overall from the situation, there seems to be a positive side to this game keycard. So 20 years down the road, hopefully we're all still here, and you have a Switch 2 and you have one of these game key cards in your collection, you pop it into your Switch 2 and you can re-download the game and have no problem. And you can still have this game in your collection, fake physically, but it's still physical. So it sounds like we're not going to have a problem here too much. So there is a positive note to this, but it is always a possibility that some of these game key cards could get proper physical releases. Like Yakuza is teamed up with Limited Run Games because they did tons of physical versions of their games from Limited Run. So there's a possibility that Yakuza 0 could get a proper physical release for Switch 2 down the road. And some of these other ones as well too. Possibly, but who knows for sure. Now, I did a short video on this a little while back of Video Games Plus. VGP is in talks. Has not been confirmed, but they're in talks to do reprints for the Switch 2 game key cards to have them to be proper physical games. I hope this actually happens because VGP has done reprints of games before in the past. They can get it done. I hope they can get it done, but as of right now, this is what we have for the game key cards. So please let me know down